I think the worst thing about like a Discord conversation is that time in which we just speak at the exact same time, and then like, actually you go first, and then you're like, nah, you go first. I'm like, nah, I insist, you go first.
Trust me, you better go.
Yeah,
It's like,
but it just creates so much awkwardness.
And like, if you're like, okay, I see this happening, okay, I will go first, and you're like, oh shit, should I have gone first?
As the viewers would have seen,
Yeah.
definitely, we have changed our format entirely.
Big switch up.
Yeah, we went from the inside right to the outside.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's a change that we had to do because, at least speaking from my own experience, I was getting a little bit like, quite jaded by the whole thing because I had to like wake up at like 8 o'clock and go into Discord at 9 and then like talk. And it just felt like the exact same thing again and again.
Okay, it was pretty chaotic. And see, for me, I sometimes try to like kind of go through the friction of some things. Like, I understand some things will have a bit of like activation and energy to like go through it. Like, there'll be a little lump you need to cross.
Yeah, true.
But see, there's some things that you need to kind of be proactive and be like, okay, you know, something's not right here. We should try and work and try and change what we can change and change it up. So
true.
we're in the park, the birds are singing. People are staring at us, but no, it's cool. I like it. I love it. It's beautiful.
But the people who are staring at us, they're probably just like, wow.
It's like, wow, look
these
at
guys
that.
are committed. Right?
yeah,
And
man.
like, if we had the choice at this current moment, we would do it inside somewhere because obviously that would have better quality a little bit, and it would have like less wind.
Or even a coffee shop.
Like yeah, exactly. But
Sipping lattes down.
yeah, but unfortunately we can't do that just because of the lockdown.
I know.
I think the main thing is to make the best of our situation.
Exactly.
I like being out here in Kelvin Grove Park. I think it's a great setting. Like, it's really calming.
I know,
think,
right? Yeah.
And it makes it much better for the podcast. Like, I stutter less, I stumble over my words less.
Yeah. And like, there's literally no lag. Cause like, see, if this was on Discord, we'd just be all over the place.
Yeah.
Without knowing it, we'd just be having to like do our best. To,
Yeah, like something that I felt on Discord is that it would just kind of be like you saying your thing, and then it'll be like, I completely agree with you, and that's what I have to say.
Yeah.
And then
I was like, there must be some sort of metaphor for it. It's like, it's kind of like in like class, you get those vocal like tests in English. Like, you give a speech like, oh, well done, next person, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You
what
know,
it reminds me of is like, I did Nat 5 French back in S4,
Okay.
and we had to do like a speaking exam.
Oh.
But we had rehearsed all our like questions and like answers.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be almost like an improvised talk, but no one did that.
They just rehearsed it.
You would like rote learn every single response you would have.
Nice.
And like, it wasn't even French at that point. It was like just like voicing different syllables in your mind
So
and like vocalizing.
you didn't know what you're saying. You're just
Well, I had
regurgitating, or
like
you
it's almost
knew
like I
kind
put
of
it into Google Translate, and then I just like
memorize that.
yeah, exactly. So
That's kind of like me, cause you know, being a Muslim and all that. And so, if we have any Muslim viewers, they all know this, but like, you learn to read Arabic, but you don't know what the hell you're reading. You're just reading Arabic.
yeah, true.
So maybe it's a bit like that, I suppose.
Wait, but are you like fluent in Arabic though?
Yeah,
Or
bro.
do
I
you
could
just-
see if you got like an Arabic sentence, I could just bang it out. But
I
like,
get you.
I don't know what I'm saying. Like, for
Wait,
example,
really?
yeah, it's like, for example, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. That's Arabic, right? But
Yeah.
I think I'm saying something like, Joe, I can't butcher it because like, I might get cancelled if I like, you know, butcher it. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things that I guess you just get taught.
That's like so weird though, and like
I know, right? It's like one of those cultural things.
yeah, because like I'm almost like the opposite with Chinese.
Yeah.
Like, I think I talked to you about it before, but
You're
I
such
did.
a like shame to your society. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, like, I did Chinese for like 10 years of
Really?
my life. Yeah, because I had to go to
Nice.
Chinese school on like Saturdays.
Whoa, that is so cool.
Yeah,
I
but-
think you must have told me that maybe, but I just totally
Yeah, but
forgot.
like a lot of it, like I'm normally like a really good student, and you kind of
Oh.
know that, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
seeing Chinese school, I was the worst student.
What would you do in Chinese school, China school?
I mean, like you just
Would-
kind of learn.
Would Donald
the
Trump there
language.
like China? Or
yeah,
no?
we just say that again and again.
So I wonder, man.
But,
It's intriguing.
Like we learn Chinese and how to like speak it, but I think the ways that they teach us is really, really bad. Because what they would do is that
Really?
they would get one word, let's just say water, soy, which
Water.
is water,
Oh, soy.
and
nice.
they would just make us write it
Soy.
again and again and again, maybe like 20 times.
but maybe that like reflected onto how you study for your exams now. Because I remember I asked you what's your study technique, and you said you just write things down. So
Yeah, I get that.
maybe that like.
Yeah, like I think
Sorry,
it's
but that's kind of boring though.
yeah, it's just
writing
water.
shit down.
And like yeah, I mean it's super duper boring. But the reason why I think like learning Chinese has evolved that way is just because there's no alphabet in Chinese. You have to memorize every single word individually. And I think there's this rule that you can only be fluent in Chinese after you learn like, I don't know, 5,000 words.
5,000 words.
Or no, actually more like 10,000, I don't even know. And just like memorize every single individual character.
So see Kai, by the way, Kai, if you're listening, come on, please, no, be a guest. But I'm pretty sure he knows Chinese.
Yeah, definitely.
And like, I think maybe like, once you're like surrounded by the language, if you just hear everyone speaking it, I guess it's like easy to pick up.
Yeah.
But that's so strange to me. So like, there's no alphabet in Chinese.
There's completely no alphabet.
No, that's mad. So you just learn words.
Yeah, I know. Because
Damn
the way
son.
that Chinese actually evolved is that it came from, it's like people would draw pictures.
Yeah.
Of what they're trying to describe. So like if they wanted to talk about a house, they would literally draw a house. And
okay, cool.
That almost it was almost like a language built on emojis.
Right,
and
nice.
what happened over the ages is that these pictures got simplified, in which it almost became like much more easy to draw.
Okay.
And it became standardized. So like if you draw this quite vague image of a house, then
you kind of know what.
Then everyone knows that it's a house. Like I think I can show you some.
Yeah, sure, man. Why not?
If I can actually find my mouse. All right.
We should have someone who looks stuff up for us, like
Actually, I think I'll have to do it on my phone.
Sure. Whatever works. So like the writing in Chinese is just a bunch of symbols rather than just like. It's mad, man. It's incredible. Is it true in Chinese like you write downwards as well, or is that Japanese?
Say that again, sorry?
See, like is it in Chinese that you write downwards, like vertically down?
Yeah, we do. I don't know why it was done like that. But what normally happens is that you write down from the right to the left, so it goes like that instead of like left to right going downwards. So it's almost like the complete opposite of English.
Cool,
but
sick.
like I always thought that writing left to right is just better,
Left to right.
Better objectively. Just because most people are right-handed, which means that say if you write right to left, that means your palm will end up smudging the ink because most people are right-handed, and if you're writing like that, then your hand will pass over what you've just written.
I see, yeah.
Yes, I'm not sure if you can see this, but I found the word for moon in Chinese.
Okay.
And in some ways it's almost like a slight crescent shape.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like that.
Very slightly, so like there, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And like I'm sure if I can look up evolution, it will come up with what it looked like a really long time ago.
Whoa.
Oh, actually, I think that's a good one. Oh, yeah, so that's what moon looked like a really long time ago. So it almost looks like a crescent.
There
right?
you can see, yeah.
And then, like, it slowly went to that. And that is the word for sun.
Okay.
So it almost looked like the sun. And then it just slowly gets more and more turned into...
Like Chinese that we know today. Well, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, and that's what fire looked like. And then it was that. And that's what water looked like. It's like a stream.
That's incredible,
yeah, it's like
man.
so cool.
Yeah, it's very artistic.
Yeah, so a long time ago I went to this museum in Taipei, which is in Taiwan. It's kind of like just off of China.
Okay, cool.
But it's known as but like it's known as part of China. Okay. And I went to this museum. I think it was like the Chinese National Museum.
Nice.
And it was, and it showed these like really old words for actual words in Chinese, and I was just amazed by it.
Really,
because
wow.
it really shows like the evolution of Chinese, and over millennia, people would take like shortcuts in say doing that, because that's like quite a hard thing to draw compared to just
a bunch of lines, you could say.
That. So people would take shortcuts, and then it would eventually just become more and more simplified.
That's incredible, man. Damn. So like, see, if you were to like draw a parallel between like English and Chinese, English is a very basic language. Like, we have an alphabet, as simple as that. But damn, man, Chinese is pretty.
Well, I think an alphabet is good though for
an
actual language, because it makes it. Because if there's a word in English that you don't know, you can sound it out, and then you'll know exactly how to say it, or maybe thereabouts. Like someone else could understand you. Yeah. Whereas in Chinese, if you don't know a word, you're absolutely screwed.
That's incredible. So alright. So see, in Chinese when you're talking, you're actively recalling every word, right?
Yeah, basically. At least that's how I kind of understand Chinese.
Right. Based on your understanding.
As a foreign speaker, you know.
Right.
Because I'm sure if you actually lived in China your whole life and you learned Chinese as a first language, it would just kind of come naturally to you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you, like someone like me, learning it as a second language, like you learn to almost treat it as an actual subject instead of like embodying the language as a whole. Like I only spoke Chinese in Chinese school, and that was it. So like it had its place.
Yeah, because like I've been spending a bit of time like trying to like learn languages as well, but like because like I've seen somewhere that there's like stages of learning a language. The first is just like to know the words. Then the second stage is like hearing everyone saying it. But of course, you know, you're in Glasgow and no one's really speaking Chinese, so it's like
true.
It's kind of difficult to like, make that like association. And also see how like in Chinese you're like kind of actively recalling every word you're gonna say. Maybe that could be like, academically like really a really powerful thing, because if your mind's so used to just actively recalling every word you're saying, maybe like you're just super good at remembering things.
Yeah, I get you.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, because like I think in English, so if I have a thought, it's always embodied in English, and I think that's a lot to just like speaking it. Like I just wonder if I immerse myself in a language so much that I'm actually able to think in that other language.
Maybe, man.
Actually, what I think is going on in the audio is that the wind is blowing on it.
Is this mine or is this yours?
That's mine. Because you got that, it makes it okay.
Yeah, because here is kind of.
So like, I can't tell where it's coming from.
Or maybe we could wait.
Yeah, I think we have to just...
if I'll maybe... I don't know.
Like, I think that is actually like the right way of doing it, but... Like, the wind, it just blows from like one way to like the other way.
We can just wait, I suppose.
I'm not even sure if it's picking me up anymore.
You need one of these boom mics.
What I could do is that I can just have a wee listen to it and then I can start
perfect.
it again.
Sure, man.
But like, it was going really well.
Yeah, it's nice.
Boom. All right, and we're back. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so it's just sorting a little bit of wind issues.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, and it was actually sorted just by waiting for the wind to stop.
Patience. Yeah, yeah, man. So we were talking about like, active recall and like Chinese.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I watched this video by Ali Abdal
nice.
about active recall.
He's actually my favorite person. He's literally my favorite
I know, right?
person.
Like, I only discovered him through the Medics group chat, actually, because everyone was saying, Ali Abdal, what a god.
I really like him as well, man. He's so sound. Alright, so what did you learn on that video? Did it like make you try and like study in a different way? Or like approach it a different way? Everything works.
Like, to be completely honest, like the first thing I thought is Ali, he is just a genius and I would not be able to copy him.
That's so funny,
because
man.
something that he says is that he doesn't really write notes when he's in lectures.
Yeah. He records it or something?
Well, like, he writes questions based on what's said.
Yeah, active recall.
Yeah, exactly, but
yeah.
I feel like for quite a lot of people, they just wouldn't be able to do that because maybe their ability to retain information wouldn't be as good, so they kind of have to write notes.
I think, I don't really know, but see, like, with active recall, it's gonna sound like cliche, but it's like kind of changed the way I study. Like, it's really like changed the way I changed my life, because like, see on my iPad, I have this app called Anki. I'll get it up right now.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I think he said.
Yeah, Anki's like such a freaking good app. But let's say I'll get one of my desktop maths, right? So let's say I have this question.
Yeah.
Now I'll do it. I'll be like, okay, then I'll tap it. Yeah, it's good. Now it's going to show me again in 2 days. It'll show me the question.
I'm getting such flashbacks to like advanced hard maths.
Yeah, and then literally, bro, I make like I throw everything on Anki that I want to learn. So let's say I'm doing a UCAT abstract reasoning deck, and I'll look at this, then I'll think.
Actually, I just want to have a like wee think.
Yeah, I know it, but let's see.
So that one's got
this
the
is
wee
wrong.
thing at the corner.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Quick math, come on. You'll have
Oh
1
my
minute.
goodness. Like, it's been such a long time since I've actually done this. Like, I'm actually getting such flashbacks, so when I have
I'll
to do
help
this
you. Don't worry,
many times.
Lewis. I've been doing this.
So that one's got that. That one's got 2 stripies.
Come on, time is ticking.
Oh, you added me so much
It's
pressure.
just because, right?
1,
See
2, 3,
this?
4, 5,
The
1, 2,
black.
3, 4,
There's
5.
always more blacks in this on set A, and there's always more striped in set B. So there's more striped.
Stripes and blacks, yeah.
Set B. Then bam, you
So
do
it's
that.
All right.
6
I
days
see.
if it was good. Yeah, man, I just love it, man. Active recall is just, and with Anki. All right. Now I'm gonna try and build like a semi-fair argument. See with Anki, you need, if you're on Apple, if you're like an Apple a person fanboy. You need to pay a bit, but if you're like a heathen and like Windows, then you don't need to pay, but that's fine. But it's like 25 quid. But the question is your future worth more than £25? For me, it is. You know, for me, it's worth more than 25.
Yeah,
quid.
true. And I think, especially for things like the UCAT, active recall is basically the only way in which you can do stuff.
Exactly right. Exactly, and it just makes my life so much easier because like it's everything's there. You know what I mean? Everything's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But that wee question that you put up, like, it annoyed me a little bit because I used to be so good at it. I used to just be like, oh, that's set B. Easy peasy.
Yeah, and then bam, I would bang it out. But yeah, that's normal, that's natural, because there's a forgetting curve. We all forget things over time exponentially. Well, that's normal, you know. It's healthy.
True.
Because if you remembered everything, it's not very beneficial, if you know, because it take up so much freaking energy in your.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. And
go back
like,
to
it's an evolutionary advantage to forget. And
Exactly
like
right.
a lot of our quote unquote imperfections do come from because we didn't really need that information.
Yeah.
Or we didn't really need that attribute to carry on, so we just lost it.
Yeah.
Because it was taking like space
Yeah,
for
yeah.
something more important.
Yeah, like, have you ever wondered why, like, see, relatively speaking, human beings and like in the Animalia kingdom, we're born like really early, and we're born so incompetent. Like we can't walk when we were born, and that was actually like that's like an evolutionary advantage because like the heads were so big.
Oopsie daisies.
Whoopsie. A woman would die in childbirth, unfortunately, and then the women who would give birth to children prematurely, they'd survive because the heads were smaller. They could pass without absolutely harming the mum too much. Then then just through natural selection, and we were all born like 9 months. Unless it's my mum, and she had a gestation period of 24 months.
Wait, really?
No, but it's an elephant joke.
Oh right, I get you. I was like, oh my god, 24 months. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because I heard somewhere that like deer, it doesn't take them, like it takes them maybe a week to get on their actual feet.
Yeah, no, it's mad.
And actually start running, whereas it takes humans years for them to actually start crawling and then start walking.
Do you know what's been pissing me off, right? See birds, right? Because I study in my kitchen, and there's actually a bird's nest in my friggin' kitchen.
In your kitchen? Not like outside it?
Outside, but like, I can hear the friggin' squawks in my friggin' kitchen. And these birds, right, they scream like they're dying every time their mother bird comes. And I'm just waiting for them to like, learn to fly and piss off.
True. Would you ever just go and just kind of...
I've tried it, man, but I just can't reach. That's the only thing that's stopping me. I just can't reach these goddamn birds.
Yeah, you either have to get taller or you have to get a ladder.
Get even taller.
I know, right?
See what?
But you're already like really tall though.
Yeah, no. I know. For anyone out there listening, I'm really tall, by the way, so And
I'm slightly shorter than this guy.
He's very slightly, so yeah, man. If you want to arrange something, hit me up.
Wow.
No.
Go and help Farhan over here get rid of that bird's nest.
Yeah, help me get rid of a bird's nest.
I'm sure he'll be a paying customer. Yeah. But like another cool thing, like it's almost based on that, the human condition is that our short-term memories are really, really bad compared to, say, chimpanzees. Because I watched this wee video. It was season 3 of this series by Vsauce called Minefield, and he actually visited this wee chimpanzee enclosure in which this guy was experimenting about like the brains of chimpanzees. So he created this game in which numbers would flash up anywhere on the screen. And what the chimpanzee has to do is that they have to click like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
An order of the number that
exactly. And it would flash up for half a second. And then that chimpanzee was able to just completely remember where all 8 of the numbers were in half a second. And that's something that a human could never do.
Yeah, no.
And
unless they're you.
definitely not.
Right.
Because Michael from Vsauce actually tried the game and he got like 2 at most. He was like, what, is this a joke or something?
Yeah.
But I think the hypothesis for how chimpanzees have such great short-term memories is that they needed it to survive in like the jungle, where they were like really, really treacherous predators, and they had to like identify how many predators there were at an instant. I just know what to do.
That's true, right.
Whereas humans, we like went away from the forest and went into the savannah, in which you didn't really need that, and like communication skills and socialization skills was so much more important.
Yeah.
So we lost that ability to have really good short-term memory in place of the ability to like come together in groups of hundreds and actually form a civilization.
Yeah.
And I just think that's like so amazing how the way that we diverged from our ape cousins.
It's almost
like
freakish because, like, if you think about it, like, see what we have, what we humans have. Sometimes I stumble across my own ability to like think about my thoughts. It's just so weird, right? Like, because no animal has that ability, and it's actually quite positive to like be able to think about your own thoughts because it, I suppose it allows you to improve. Yeah, it can feel a bit crap some days, but it does, allows you to improve because like your own deficits and you can work on that.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of the time, like thoughts just come into our head and we're completely not in control of our thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
Some would say that it's generated by our subconscious.
Exactly.
But I think as we get older, we learn more how to judge our own thoughts and how to like
definitely
not be too critical of what actually comes up and not.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of us, we can just have naturally like really really dark thoughts, and if we judge ourselves like what the hell's wrong with me? Then, like although you're not even in control of it, but you're in control of whether you act on it.
Yeah, it's about how you react, right? Yeah, so like the point I was like trying to make, like, we can like think about our thoughts, and it's quite kind of freakish that we can do that.
Yeah.
However, like it has its good points and its bad points. Like, see with our mind, and I think I've touched upon this, but like, see human beings, what we have that other like species don't have is that we have this ability to like think of things that don't exist.
Yeah, it's like we have a really really good imagination.
Yeah, like we can think of things that we've never seen, and see, because like we can think of things that we've never seen, we can like bond over a certain thing.
Yeah.
And like, see that the bigger like your group is, the more power it has, because like the more people you have in your group, the more powerful you are, basically. And like, if you look at like the animal kingdom, there's literally no animal kingdoms done what humans have done.
Obviously.
Like be able to like span the whole globe, and yeah, man, it's like our ability to be able to just imagine things and like think of things, and be able to like connect on those thoughts is what allows us to like grow societies and like friggin' whole countries, because like we have that shared.
Because the concept of like God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like it can really only be imagined in the mind of a human, and our ability to first of all imagine that and to communicate that to other people.
Yeah.
I think I talked to this to you before, but like, but the idea of having a theory of mind. It's something that only humans, as far as we know, have. It's the ability to ask a question and expect that other people have other knowledge that we don't have already. Like although although humans have been able to almost like teach chimpanzees and teach gorillas how to communicate with us if they like need to eat or they need to go to the toilet, and they can sign language it to us humans. But never has a chimpanzee ever asked a question, because I don't think they have the mental capacity to actually think that we have information that they don't. So why on earth would they ever have to ask a question?
Exactly. Yeah, man. Because I think there's this thing where, like, see, animals, they have like around the same kind of thinking capacity as like a human being when they're like 4 or 5. It's like really straightforward, and like it's like down to the idea of just like evolutionary, like what is actually useful for the animal. Because like seeing like the jungle, like no one ever does have like really useful information for you to gain. So there's just no need to like have that ability to ask a question.
Yeah, because most other like species and even species of your own kind want to go and kill you. So
Exactly,
like it's much more beneficial for you to be able to react quickly and run away from threats.
Yeah, exactly.
Than to bond emotionally with someone and to actually have religion.
Yeah, man. See this idea how like religion can maybe just be something that is kind of like a glue for society. I think, see, for people who are like really religious, I think that can maybe rub them the wrong way. Because like I remember I've like been I've grown up in like a religious like a family, not too religious, but like, religion was there.
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
I'm like aware of like the feelings and the beliefs and the the thought patterns of like religion, like, oh, God, be all and end all. However, just like having that awareness that maybe religion was concocted as a way to like keep large groups of people together to stop them from like killing each other, because like look, objectively speaking, me and Liz, we're different, right?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, 'cause everyone's different, but like we have like this common idea, like we both buy into this idea of law, society, respect, and myriad other ideas that I just obviously can't think of because there's so much. and that like bonds people. Well, if we didn't have that, like if we didn't have this theory of mind, bro, we'd probably just start killing the shit out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there'd be no society, and like if there's no law, and nothing, everything would just be so archaic. So yeah, theory of mind can be a bit annoying sometimes. Like sometimes we'll just be in this like mad crazy feedback loop of thoughts. Like, oh, I had this crazy thought. Oh, why did I have that thought? Then you think about the thing. Then you think about the thought that you had.
Like it's so easy to go on like a negative spiral.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, sometimes.
Because then it's almost like you see yourself as someone who who is like not even you, and then you end up being critical to your own knowledge.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, do you really know what you really know? And
I know, it's crazy. It's mad.
yeah, like I can feel this conversation just getting like really, really, really deep. Too deep for even me.
We're
to,
like
go.
6 feet deep right now. Oh, man.
Yeah, I know, right? but you're taller than me, so you can still breathe, and I'm just like submerged in the water.
My forehead's above the ground. Yeah, I suppose. Are you not cold on your t-shirt?
Nah, I'm not actually cold. I think this conversation is really, really hot.
It's
right
warming
now.
you up.
Yeah, so next time I'll find out why it just randomly stops like it.
Yeah, sure, man.
What I have to do is I have to catch it when it does stop, and then review like the different variables that there was present when it did stop, just so I can like see if I can change anything.
Sure. Anyway, we had like a string of like friends and stuff. So yeah, sure, we can just carry on with that. Yeah, so I think like are we recording right now?
As long as that wee red thing is like
It's
going
moving.
more to like the right, it means it's recording.
Perfect.
So like so at any point if you see it just stop, then just let me know or just say
I'll try and keep an eye. Yeah, so I think that having friends is like so important, right? Because like we're humans, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of like we can be a bit daft sometimes, and sometimes we can be like really in our own heads and just be just see one side of things. I think like having people who are like able to like give you different viewpoints of some things, whether it be your own life or whether it be just something just something like racism, someone who can give you a different perspective on something. I think it's really important. And like and like I kind of like try and like choose my friends objectively, try and see like because I kind of want to like improve myself, because I think life is like just a lifelong journey to try and like improve yourself.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I try and like choose my friends in that way.
Yeah, because like as a human, you're never the end product.
Exactly.
Even
man.
if you're, I don't know, 70 years old,
retired, you can still develop.
Yeah, like you can still experience new things in life and then learn from those experiences.
Because if you're not going up, then you're only going down.
Oh, it's quite a lot of. I just, like I might just have to cover it and then talk like this. I don't think it's doing anything.
No, but no. Oh, perfect.
But I think the wind's dying down, but you should still be able to like hear me because like I listened to it before and then it was like, but then you can still like and be able to understand what I was saying. Yeah. But yeah, I think the main thing is that you choose friends. This is rule number 4 of the 12 Rules for Life by Donna Peterson. But
Bernd Peterson. That's his middle
Wait, really?
name.
Is that actually
Bernd?
Bernd?
Bernd. BERNT.
Oh, I actually had no idea.
Fun fact.
Farhan with the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
But
stick around for more.
Oh yeah. But I think that rule is one of the best rules to have is that like you need to choose friends that actually care about you and actually want the best for you.
Yeah.
Like you can disagree with things, but if you have friends that care about you as a person, then you'll be able to maneuver through those differences and try to find common ground and be able to relate in a different way.
Yeah.
Because let's take me and you for example. You were like quite a devout Muslim when I first saw you.
Oh yeah.
Like you used to pray in school.
You might get me cancelled.
Nah,
no,
I mean,
taking the piss.
But I was always an atheist. I was like I was brought up an atheist and like.
Oh, cool.
Me, like sometimes me and my dad would just kind of like joke about how God is like quite a far-fetched concept for us.
It is, man. Like just thinking about it. I mean.
Yeah, because
there's a man in the clouds.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, why a man? Like,
why
is this God shaped in such a way that it just resembles this one organism?
Why not a
on
dolphin?
Earth? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there probably is a dolphin god. Let's be honest.
Well, is that dolphin able to have complex thoughts like humans? I think that's the main thing.
Does it have a theory of mind?
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, man.
We would always see things like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions happening on the TV and just be like, where's God to save all of these people?
Yeah.
But something that I feel like religion can do is that they can always take a step back and say, oh, this was just a test for those people.
Yeah,
All,
no,
all, all,
obviously.
all the suffering that these people go to,
Yeah.
you know, like world hunger and starvation.
That
and
is a
war.
religious point. Like that is what if I was building a case for Islam, I'd say, oh, it's a test.
Yeah,
It's like what you say, you know.
yeah, I think
It's
so.
like-
But I just feel like you could keep going back with that argument
Yeah, man,
and keep
like,
retreating.
yeah,
And
it's
because
like-
God is unfalsifiable, it's
falsified.
there's this idea in philosophy called last Thursdayism, in which like it's this joke idea that the world was created last Thursday, and
Okay.
technically there's no way to disprove it, because any evidence you throw at me, say like, oh, I went for pizza 2 weeks ago, and I remember that. There's no reason why the universe was created last Thursday.
Yeah.
Let's just take that for an example.
Okay.
I could always say, well, those thoughts that you had pizza 2 weeks ago was actually created last Thursday, and all your perceived experiences and memories of it was created last Thursday, and you could just keep going,
Keep on going.
like that, like any evidence that they throw at you, whether you know, tectonic plates moved millions of years ago to like form the Earth's crust. That is enough evidence to prove against last Thursdayism. What I could say is that, oh, last Thursday, the world just popped into existence in which the tectonic plates were just in that position to make you think that they existed millions of years ago.
Okay.
So like, there's technically no way to disprove
So
it.
it's like a Pandora's box
Um,
of just like friggin' just keep on getting arguments out.
yeah,
Unlimited, yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's like the world was created last Thursday to make us think that it was created a really long time ago.
Right, so yeah. So, you know, like, see another part of like religion, which is fine. I'm not gonna like take a stance on religion because like, you know, there's probably some relatives watching me. I don't want to get cancelled, but
Yeah.
no, they love me. That's what I think. That's what they made me believe. So as far as I know, they love me. But yeah, man, there's another idea of like religion is that live your whole life right. When you die, oh shit, it's gonna be so good when you die, bro. Just live your whole life. Then when
yeah.
you die, life's gonna be so good. But see that idea. It can like kind of conceive. So you can kind of like conceive the idea of someone just kind of just being a victim, just laying back, like, oh, this is life, oh, it's a test, rather than
Yeah.
being proactive. And I
Yeah, I
think that can
get
be a
you.
bit dangerous, man. And like not enjoying life right now. I mean, like, you know, just enjoy life right now, you know, rather than waiting for death. Because yeah, one is morbid as hell, you know, waiting for death,
Yeah.
and also it can kind of like retract your enjoyment of life for now, you know, because like all life is now, right? You know, this is the moment.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
Because
this
the
is all
future doesn't
literally life is.
exist. Because the future is yet to be written. and
Exactly.
things.
In the past, there's also this concept that the past just doesn't exist either, because all life is now. But you have memories, because you
Yeah.
know we have theory of mind and all that. But I'm not going to keep on bashing religion. I think because there's always point, you know, both sides of a fence, right? I think religion
yeah.
can be really good for people who maybe had a really tough time, and they want to have like a mattress or like just a philosophy that's just unfalsifiable, as you say, and something that's really stable for them in life.
Yeah, true.
And sometimes that can be religion for people. Like if someone's had a really rough divorce, you know, lost custody of the kids, lost their job, and you see this quite a lot. They go back to God like, oh Allah, thank you, like Jesus Christ, whatever it may be. So yeah, man, I think religion can really be good for some people who've really had hard times. You know. and
Yeah, I
stuff like
think
that.
so, because like it teaches us quite a lot of gratitude.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea that this whole world and universe was created by a creator.
Yeah, it can be very securing, right? Like.
Yeah, exactly. Because like if something goes badly, you can just say, "Oh, this was just part of God's plan,"
Yeah, God's
and then
plan.
boom, you know, you have some legitimacy
Yeah,
to what goes around you and what actually happens in your life.
Like human beings, we like to make a story of life. I think religion gives a wonderful story of life.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, it's God.
Like I completely agree with that.
You know, yeah.
Like I'm sure if I grew up in a family that was religious,
Yeah, of course.
I,
then,
I would be religious just because it would be the path of least resistance. Because
Of course, yeah.
because to go against your family's values is like a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
If you've grown up your entire life thinking just one way.
Yeah. But see, for me, I'm quite, you know, glad that like my family is they're not normies, and I don't think they'd be too like they don't hang so much of their identity on me. Which thank God for that. It's
Yeah,
like you know
true.
they're not frigging it. They're not defined by the children. They're not as far as what I've observed. I'm glad to say that they're not like defined by their occupation, family name or anything like that.
Yeah,
So
true.
yeah, man, just you know, yeah, I think it's good to just explore the vast plethora of ideas that there are out there. Because like, if we go on YouTube right now and friggin' pick up, look up a guy who's a scholar in Christianity, he'll give an incredibly compelling argument.
Yeah.
Then if you look at some guy like Dr. Zakir Naik, who's a really prominent like Muslim speaker, bro. You'll just get converted, then you'll convert back to Christianity, then you convert back to Islam, and back and forth.
True.
So it just gives us so just like.
Yeah, I think the main thing is being open, because there's always good things to take from everything. But,
Yeah, man.
But I am, at least personally, my main gripe with religion, or at least the people who are religious, is that because they say books like the Bible, it's God's word, and they think that God is omniscient and omnipotent.
Yeah.
Right. But with things like the Old Testament, people say you're not supposed to take the Old Testament literally, just because it says like things like that. God drowned everyone in the story of Noah's Ark, right? But if God was omnipotent, then you would have to take that as complete gospel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yet they don't. So what kind of happens is that they hold a conflicting argument that God is all-knowing and God is omnipotent, yet they don't actually believe everything that God has said. So then you have that conflict.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
Yeah, because I think humans, we're so good at like just bolstering up our own argument. It's like nothing's perfect and nothing's imperfect. So let's say if you don't, for example, if there's an individual, let's say if there's someone you're intimidated by him.
Yeah.
And no one's perfect, right? So your mind can just concoct an idea of like, I don't like this person because X, Y, Z, because no one's perfect, right? It's really easy to come up with an idea for not to like someone, so then you can just project it onto the person. And that's the same with religion. You can say, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I watched this, like, I think he's, do you know the guy from The Office? I can't remember his name.
Was that The Office UK or Office US?
Office UK, the guy from...
David Brent, that guy.
No, there's another guy. The guy from An Idiot Abroad, he made that. He's like a really prominent comedian, British guy.
Oh, Ricky Gervais.
Yes,
you mean that guy?
that
Right.
guy.
So
Yeah.
so he's the actor who played David Brent.
Yeah. So
Right.
I don't know the name. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan of Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, he's quite cool. And that he had this piece. He was just like bashing religion, and then he said,
As you do.
exactly. No, casual Thursday night, and like friggin' he talked about guys, there's like 5 million different species, and then like
Oh my God, yeah.
have you seen that? Then
I've seen that YouTube video.
then he goes on. Then he talks about the ark, like 5 million species. That's a giraffe. It's taking off half the boat, and like friggin' there's 5 million more species
Your English
left.
accent though.
Is it good?
Oh my
Is
goodness.
it on point?
Like it's like a really posh like London accent. I
Nice,
feel like.
nice. Man, see sometimes right. No, I think this is although this is with everyone, like you covet what you don't have because like our minds just wired like that. Like we want things that we don't have because
What does covet mean?
covet.
It's like want things.
Want.
All right, I see. Sorry.
Get out.
Get out of this office.
Yeah. No, but like you really want things that you don't have, which is
Yeah,
normal.
true.
So yeah, man, I just sometimes think, oh, well, I've had an English accent like Ali Abdal.
yeah.
Oh, fuck man.
Yeah.
Such a sexy accent.
Like I think that just comes
Sexy
from
beast.
our primitive thought that
Exactly, man,
like
it is.
the grass is always greener on the other side, and we see other people as almost like better than us because they only show us their good side.
Yeah. Yeah. And see.
Yeah, because you
So-
probably think that I'm much like smarter and maybe more intelligent than what I think of myself.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I see like I can look back and think of like every stupid thing I've ever like said and every embarrassing thing, and that links to that other episode we
Oh,
did 2
shameless
weeks ago.
plug. Spill your guts. Spill your guts.
Spill your guts. Watch that right after this. We'll put it in the description. But
Only if you shout us on your Insta story. If you don't, then no.
yeah, but yes, I can think of like every single like stupid and embarrassing thing that I've done that like sticks in my mind, and
Yeah.
you can probably do the same thing about yourself.
Yeah, but I don't think that much, which I'm glad that I don't think
yeah.
that much. No, but see, I think it's really good and healthy to not think like you're that good. I think that's like a pathway of like improving yourself. Because
Yeah.
imagine if you thought you were good and if I thought I was really good. We'd just be dormant. Because like,
Yeah.
it links to the idea, if you're not moving up, then you're moving down. Because life's never still. So if I think, oh, I'm so good, man, I've got it made. I'm just gonna start deteriorating. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think the whole idea that like you think you're really really good it feeds into the idea that judgments can always backfire. Like I talked about this before. But like every single judgment you made is like a brick in the wall that can be completely torn down.
Yeah.
When something happens in your life and you end up being a hypocrite, because there will eventually come a time. So say you judge fat people,
yes.
as like fat people are lazy. Fat people don't know how to live their life properly.
No
And you go out.
no discipline.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, yeah.
And then what could possibly happen is that maybe Christmas rolls around, and then you
Damn.
you might put on like maybe 2 or 3 kilos, and that's it. But it doesn't matter how little you put on. You will start identifying yourself as one of those fat people who you were judging that whole time, and then you'll treat yourself really, really badly, and then you end up judging yourself a lot based on it.
Yeah.
And that just will lead to lots of negative emotion.
Of course.
But it's not like anyone else is judging you and giving yourself a hard time, but you're giving yourself a really hard time.
Yeah, man.
For something that is like you're going on that really, really small direction of becoming obese, even though you're not.
You can rectify it, you know? You
Yeah,
can
of
always
course.
rectify it as well. Be proactive rather than reactive, you know, just fucking do something about it.
True, and that's why that's the main reason why I think judgments are bad, is that they
Yeah.
can cause tremendous negative emotion.
That's true. Yeah, man. And I think like, see, like when it comes to like, our identity, I think it's good to keep your identity small. Because I see everything in life, everything material, whether it be this podcast, whether it be my clothes, whether it be the way I look, whether it be my friends, whether it be you, whether it be anything. Everything's fluctuating and nothing looks stable. So yeah, man, I think you should just be careful where you get your identity from. You know, try and get it from what things that are it's never going to change. Like helping other people. Like if you get your identity from helping someone, and I'm like, you know, it's not going to change, is it? You're always going to feel good about that, you know.
Yeah,
you're
true.
Gonna feel good, yeah. Helping
And it's
other
something that's
people.
true to your values and not true to say someone else's values. And say say your identity was to validate your friends by helping them. I don't think that would be as good.
No, that's
or
a bit tainted.
good at all, I don't think, because you might help your friends, but you only help your friends so that they can validate your existence. I don't think that's a good idea.
It's not. It's really not.
I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, like I find doing podcasts like this so much easier.
It's wonderful, right?
Yeah, because like we can just kind of talk like this instead of me saying my thing, and you're going like, nice, and this is what I have to say, blah blah blah, and then I'm like, nice.
Because like,
Nice.
I'm like, okay, listening done. Now acknowledge what has been heard. Now talk. It's like
Yeah,
everybody.
like it becomes so formulaic at that point, whereas this is a much more fluid conversation, I think.
Yeah, because like, there's no lag either.
Yeah. I think the worst thing about like a Discord conversation is that time in which we just speak at the exact same time, and then like, actually you go first, and then you're like, nah, you go first. I'm like, nah, I insist, you go first.
Trust me, you better.
Yeah,
It's like,
but it just creates so much awkwardness.
And like, if you're like, okay, I see this happening. Okay, I will go first. And you're like, oh shit, should I have gone first?
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
And
fuck it, is what it is.
like, it happens on Zoom quite a lot, because I've got like a weekly Zoom with like the medics group chat, and normally it's like a group of maybe 25 people, and
Making grafts on the.
obviously,
Yeah.
because like the medical profession, it's becoming more female dominated,
Damn.
right? So I think for every one guy there might be like 2 females.
You need to fix that, Lewis. You need to like
Yeah, I know.
vet out, put all the females off medicine, get the guys back.
Yeah, like I just be really, really mean and rude to all the female medical students. I get them all to leave, and then boom, back to the patriarchy. Nah, I'm joking.
Yes, the patriarchy.
I'm joking. Oh my god, you got so many UCAT questions.
Do you know this is so pissing off, right? Because actually,
Oh
no,
my
it's
god.
okay. No, this looks more than it was. But bro, I had to sit because like I done the UCAT test. I was like, okay, then you know they had the review on the website. Every question that I got right or partially right, I just went over it. It's friggin'. I threw all of this as an Anki though, so I could just delete all that and it'd be there.
Yeah,
so,
true. How much does Anki cost? Because I might actually
It's
get it.
$24.99, but it's so worth it. Cause but once you get, it's really worth it, man. It really helps a lot.
I've got a few like iTunes gift cards.
Oh, there you go.
Over the months and over the years, so I can just probably use that.
Yeah, bang them in.
Because I've literally got no reason to get anything on iTunes.
Yeah.
Like games and things, because I don't really play like
iOS games.
mobile games, because
But
they're
I
all a
mean,
bit shit.
Do you have Skillshare?
I don't have Skillshare, but obviously I've heard of it, because every single YouTube video
Yeah.
is sponsored by Skillshare.
Are Brilliant? Have you come
Oh
across
yeah, Brilliant.
Yeah, Ali Abdaal.
Discover your passion anywhere.
I tried Brilliant.
Really, did you?
I'm not going to say my opinion on it because they might want to sponsor us, but actually it was really good.
Nicely done.
That's
you,
it, you know.
you just played yourself.
Very very diplomatic, you know, gotta keep our windows open.
And like, I don't want to say anything about Skillshare, but I just think it's really, really good.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Please sponsor us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, what types of things did you actually do on Brilliant?
Brilliant. I mean, I think I have the Brilliant app. It's like, look, if you want to learn to code, they have like little puzzles on coding, and it like incorporates, you know, like active recall and stuff. But it does it in a really smart way. Like they have number
Alright.
puzzles, and like they have a lot of like really intuitive puzzles.
But it's like Brilliant and Skillshare the exact same because, like,
No, they're completely different.
I've always
things.
kind of grouped it into one.
No, because like Skillshare is like Netflix for learning things.
Oh right, I see. And Brilliant is.
Brilliant's like a proper app.
All right,
Can
I
you
see.
see my phone?
Oh, your phone. Oh, it's over there.
That's so funny. That's
Like another great thing I think about doing podcasts like this
Yeah.
is that we're able to just put things on the iPad.
I know, right?
And then
Or
just,
the
like,
laptop,
talk-
I just look at it.
Yeah, exactly,
It's
just
so
talk
good,
about
right?
things.
And we're also filming it, so it makes sense.
Yeah, true. So like viewers can actually see what we're actually looking at.
Yeah, and if we have a sponsor, we can be like 20 quid if you want your logo on their iPad.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, man,
And
it's
something
sick.
else, because we did that video on like what's on your desk and like
The podcast.
and we talked about like the different things.
Yeah.
I could see you on the webcam and you could see me, but the
Yeah,
viewers must have
yeah.
been completely lost.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we have to describe everything that we're holding. It's like, so I'm currently holding a Rubik's Cube, which
Yeah.
have the colours red, blue,
It's like
white,
you're narrating
orange.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So
is
I just
cool.
think it's a little bit harder to actually,
Yeah.
get things across that way.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, 'cause I remember when we were like banging on about anatomy.
Oh
was
my
like,
god, yeah. And I was
oh.
like pointing to like my elbow and shit.
By the way, guys, Lewis is just holding up his arm and like trying to be like.
Yeah, whereas right now I can just like do this and everyone knows actually what I'm doing.
I know, right? It's mad. It's technology. It's mad. Man, Corona. So like, yeah, I think everything was like a good and a bad. Corona, yeah, of course, there's bad things, but I think it's just
Yeah.
more beneficial to look at the good things.
Yeah.
Good things, you just learn so much. you just
Yeah,
sit, you just
true.
fucking just develop yourself, you know.
Yeah, and like it's not like a really really bad and like thing to actually try and make the best of a bad situation.
Oh no, this is beautiful. It's actually really good
Yeah,
to do.
because quarantine, it's
Uh-huh.
not all bad because it gives you lots of time to yourself, so you can learn how to be comfortable.
And your family.
Yeah, exactly. and you learn how to be comfortable by yourself instead of having to
Yeah, man.
constantly get feedback from your friends and constantly get positive
Yeah,
reinforcement.
because like, I spent a lot of time in my closet, and I rearranged a lot of the skeletons in my like time in
All right, I see.
time in lockdown. Kind of
You-
a lot of skeletons.
You
in my
rearrange
closet.
a lot of your skeletons.
in my closet because there's a lot of skeletons in my closet.
I mean, I hope they're not real skeletons.
Do you
Or else
not-
I'll
do
be
you-
very, very.
Do you not know the phrase "skeletons in your closet"?
Not really.
What? I do not. All right. Well, it's just. It's
I thought you actually had skeletons.
No, it's a phrase. It's a phrase. Damn, I thought. All right. Anyway, it means like bad things in your past. But no, because like,
Alright, I see.
Because I think we all have things that have happened to us, and I think see like school, it was just so good. See, because like when you're in school, all you have to think about is like school. You know,
Yeah.
then you come back like, oh, what,
Yeah, it's
you
just
know,
study.
what a day at school. Oh, relax. Your mind's occupied, right? Because like
Yeah.
you know you've had so much time in a different environment. But yeah, no, man, I'm just fucking thinking, but you need to like direct your thoughts, you know? Because your stoicism, it says that you can control your thoughts.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I personally don't really agree with that. I think thoughts just kind of come up.
Yeah, but like, it's like a philosophy, you know? Because
Yeah.
I don't know much about it myself.
Alright, yeah, fair enough.
I'm like intrigued by it, and I hope to like develop my understanding of stoicism. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because me, see, when it comes to like ideas and philosophies and ideologies, you could say, I like going into them because like I try to gain whatever good there is. I try to get the good, and I leave the caveats to the side. Because like, see, for a lot of these things, yeah, of course, they're not like scientific theories. They're not like unfalsifiable.
Yeah.
Because everything is pretty much falsifiable. Like even being proactive, there can be the argument of what if I'm crippled or but like I try and remove that stuff and just try and gain the benefit, like filter it
yeah.
through and just gain the benefit.
Yeah.
from it, you
Because
know?
what philosophies are at the end of the day is like things to help you live a better life.
Exactly, man. Just do
And
that.
there's no point being like a cynic to that.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
can disagree with parts of it, but you're not being say a bad person if you take like bits and chunks of everything.
Of course. It's actually good for you, man. be a bit selfish. You know, just take the things that you want, leave the things that you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And like being selfish isn't all a bad thing. It's
exactly.
like it's just putting yourself on top of putting your own priorities just slightly above everyone else.
Just slightly.
Yeah, just so you can focus on yourself and then put yourself in a position in which you can help others.
Yeah, I think that's I like because I like that stance. Because before your stance was like just be selfish, which is fine. I understand,
yeah.
but see that it's more like grounded. If you get me, it's like more like it's all more encompassing. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, because it's too simplistic. Just say, oh, you
Think
only
of
have to care about yourself.
Yeah, you know, because life is so dynamic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because man, and in that way, like I agree with the idea of if you do look after yourself, then you know you can bring care to others and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which
true.
is like quite nice.
Yeah, because I think humans just have a natural inclination to want to help others. So
exactly, man. We're social people.
It's like if you're in a good state of mind and if you're in a good headspace, then you will like even just being yourself, you will inspire people, those around you, and in some ways that is helping, like setting a good example for others.
Exactly. And like, yeah, man. And like, it's a circle, isn't it? So when people feel good, they'll be more inclined to do things for you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like an upward spiral.
It's an upward spiral. Upward spirals are good. Downward spirals, we should be wary of them, you know. Like.
Yeah, true. I think the main thing, because I have been on quite a few of my own downward spirals, but the main thing is to catch yourself.
Exactly. That's
and
nice.
I just take a step back and be like, okay, I'm currently going through a downward spiral. I have to almost short circuit it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you can only short circuit it not by making more excuses and more positive affirmations, because those can always backfire.
Exactly.
So you just have to take a step back and acknowledge.
Yeah, this is what's happening.
That you're having thoughts about maybe a particular subject. Like you're insecure about your looks, maybe.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
then you just say, okay, I'm currently being insecure about my looks.
Yeah.
And then you can then go on different ways to then try and combat that.
I have a feeling that we're all slightly insecure, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
It's maybe a good thing. But see, I'm like I find it kind of remarkable. Like, see, whenever you look in a camera, you just look at it, you don't even care. But see me, I try not to look at myself that much, because I think that the more you look at yourself, the worse you think you look or something.
Yeah, because the more you look at yourself, the more of like the slight imperfections you see. It's like, you got a little bit of a blemish there. You got maybe it's like not completely symmetrical.
Yeah, and it's like because it's you're just gonna be hyper like aware, and I think you can do as much as you can to like kind of counteract that or get over it. But man, it's just like if it's you're just gonna be, I think, more receptive to it, and you know you just need to do what you can to. You know,
true.
Sort it out. Alright, so like, see with this idea of like doing well for yourself, I sometimes think about like my children, because I think inevitably, you know, if everything's working, fine and well, I want to have kids, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I really try to acknowledge not to get my identity from my kids, and I need to like recognize that my kids don't define me. That I plan on being not a friend to my kids, because but I want to like be there as like a guiding pole for my kids, so like they can get wisdom and stuff. But I don't want to tarnish the relationship either, because you know I want to like have fun times.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, man, because I just don't. And sometimes I have thoughts that I don't want to be a crappy parent, but I think that thought in and of itself is like just overthinking it.
Yeah,
true. Like, it's not just me who's going to be a parent, right? There's going to be another person who I'll be able to work with. So yeah.
So like there's a lot of teamwork involved, I think. And
yeah.
I mean, there's another rule in the 12 rules of life. Is that like don't let your kids do anything that makes you dislike them.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
I think it gets hard, at least in the stage in which say your kid is say 16 or 17 years old, because they have to become their own person, and it's like how far should you micromanage their life, if at all?
If at all, exactly.
Yeah, because I think at least my mum, she still likes to do things like do all my laundry and still cook for me every single day.
My grandmum as well.
There we go. We're back. I'll get that sorted for next time.
Yeah, sure. No, that's fine. That's perfect. Right, man. Yeah, so sure, we'll wrap it up. Alright, so sure, I'll just say some stuff about parenting.
As a parent you are.
my very limited experience of like, parenting. Yeah, man.
Have you ever like babysat a child?
No, but I've been around kids that I really like. but because like in Pakistan, I lived with like my cousins, like because it was just like a lot of relatives lived together. So my dad and my uncle, so my dad and all of our family, and my uncle and all of his family lived in one place, and the grandparents. So it was a big.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
all of us, and it was.
So it's like 3 generations
It was
in like
wonderful.
one house.
Literally,
Damn.
you could walk across the 3 generations of our like family lineage, and it's like, I loved it. It was beautiful. But yeah, man, because there's kids that I like, and then I like observed the parenting patterns. And yeah, man, it's less was more, I think, compared to because my dad, he doesn't do a lot. Like he kind of, it's a very offhand approach to parenting,
Yeah.
and I love that, man. Because like my dad, he's my dad, right? I think just no matter what, he's gonna be my dad, and I'll be able to just gain, friggin', like insights from him, just no matter
true.
what. Whether he lectures me or not, because even when he lectures me, it really annoys me, man. It grinds my gears.
Yeah.
And it's counterproductive because it makes me kind of like him less, and it just annoys me. But like,
Yeah.
so yeah, man, I think less is more.
I get you because
Yeah.
I think at the point where you have to like micromanage your kid's every move,
No, fuck
because you know that your kid just won't listen to you unless you just keep on having control over them, then it will cause you to like slowly resent your kid, and then you won't like being their parent.
Yeah, man.
Whereas if you be like quick yet forceful with like your parenting style,
Uh-huh.
like be very clear what you want from your child
Yeah.
and what's expected of them, because children will naturally look up and listen to their parents, so that
Yeah. Unless you're little pricks.
oh my goodness, if they're little pricks and they can just fuck right off. Nah. But I think when I'm a parent, I think like I definitely will have quite an offhand approach
Yeah.
to it, and I won't try and micromanage everything. But
Yeah,
but if they're doing something that I don't like, I'll make it very clear that I don't like it.
Yeah.
And
Whip out the karate skills.
I just go karate chop.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I think, well, obviously I have no experience, but
Are you
hopefully
sure? Are
when
you
I
sure?
do become a father, I would have the,
What if you are a father?
right now.
Already a
I'd be
father.
very, very surprised.
Get a little call. Lewis. No.
I'm gonna name him Lewis Jr.
Yeah, man. Alright. This is it. Then I'm gonna try and wrap my side up.
Oh yeah, sorry for interrupting.
No. But see when I do eventually parent, I don't want my kid to think I love him just because of what he does. I want
Yeah.
my kid to know I love him just for him.
Yeah,
It's like, he
of
needs to
course.
know he's enough. If you get me.
Yeah, true.
He's
Because
enough.
like the kids shouldn't have to feel like they have to act up.
Yeah, because people
To you.
have value, man. No matter what, you have value because
Yeah,
you're a human being.
yeah, 'cause life's freaking awesome,
I know, right?
and like just like the whole concept of being able to experience,
Exactly.
like it's a near miracle.
I know. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll wrap that up.
Yeah. Quick thing.
This is Lewis Ip signing out. I'll see you next week.
This is Farhan Mohammad. I'll also see you next week.